Hey, what's up, people? It's me again, and you know who I am. I am TeaRon. That's TeaRon, period. And I am so fucking excited. Yo. I've wanted to do this kind of thing for a bit. As you know, this is a black ass podcast, but I always enjoy when I go someplace I've never been and take you with me. So from my mouth to your ears, we're gonna take the podcast today all the way to Ghana and have someone with me here today to give us a tour and give us some insight on what the fuck we got to do to get up out of here and go over there. Because they say everybody's moving to Ghana now, right? But we're gonna see if that's the case. We're gonna see if that's cool. Today on the podcast, I have a friend of mine, someone who I admire so much, who is making strides, in my opinion, based on what I can see. And they're so humble; they won't ever admit that they're, super popular and super interesting. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I have, and I'm gonna try. See, listen. I'm gonna try to say your name. Yeah. I'm gonna try and say your name, and you correct me if I get it wrong. All right, and don't give me too much now. All right, today I have, ladies and gentlemen, Oheneba Nurudeen.
Okay, to rank you, I'll give you about 7 out of 10. That was not bad.
Cool. That's fine. Introduce yourself to the people, because I know I'm not gonna get that right, but I want to get it right. Introduce yourself to the people. One thing I will say is this: a lot of times we as Black people everywhere, we have unique names, especially people who are in those African countries, and a lot of times people accept other people calling them like, "Oh, you could just call me whatever. You could just no, nigga, say my name right, nigga." Say my shit right. You say all that other shit. Say my shit right. So I'm gonna let you say your name correctly so that the people know it and that I can learn it and respect it. Go ahead.
So thank you so much, TeaRon. I hope I'm still mentioning your name correct, because the last time I listened to you, you were having a conversation about how to pronounce your name very correct. Is it TeaRon?
For you, it is. No, I'm just kidding. So my name is easy in comparison, I guess, because mine's just the 6 letters. So my name is just TeaRon.
Okay, so I got to do better than you.
Yeah. You already did much better than I did.
Yeah. So my biological name is Adams Nurudeen Muhammad. But my social life, my showbiz name, the name that I'm quite popular with is Oheneba Nurudeen. And Oheneba means, yeah. So Oheneba, so Oheneba is an indigenous name that means that a son of a king. So yeah, I'm a son of a king. That's why the name Oheneba Nurudeen.
And when you say that, some of us might take it literally. We all think coming to America was like.
Oh, geez.
Is it a prince? No.
Yeah.
Oh goodness! Tell the people a little bit about what you do, because, like you said, that is a name you use as an entertainer, or as you're kind of building your career out in that way. So let the people know a little bit about what you do over there in Ghana. What city are you in, by the way?
I'm in Accra, the capital of Ghana.
I never pronounced that city correct either. This is bullshit. I just now.
So how do you pronounce it?
I'm not doing it, man. I'm not.
So y'all are there and mispronouncing our names, yeah?
Well,
oh geez.
I mean, can you blame us? Because who's telling us that it's not right? So you said Accra, right?
That is good.
My ass would literally say Accra.
Accra. That's not bad. That's
not bad. Not correct. So I'm gonna change it.
It's not correct, but it's not bad.
But go ahead. What are you doing in Accra?
Okay, so I am a model. That is my main profession, and I'm a TV and radio host. So I have a whole show that I present on TV, live TV, and I currently am a student too as well. So I kind of combine modeling, TV, and radio presenting to studying, and I'm also studying BBA marketing. That's Bachelor's in Business Administration marketing. So that kind of made me kind of like talking too much in public. That's how my friends call me, the most talkative person in the whole classroom, because Nurudeen or Oheneba Nurudeen likes to talk and do a lot of explanation that sometimes it's not meaningful, but I need to make up a point out there. So basically, I am a model with one of the greatest record label in Ghana, where we can find Kiddy, we can find Kwame Eugene, if you've heard about them. They are musicians here in Ghana, very, very popular. And the name of the record label is Links Entertainment. And so they have a modeling agency with this Obsession Models, GH, which I'm signed under to be doing a whole lot of modeling activities. So since I joined, I've been able to feature in music videos with a lot of superstars here in Ghana. I'm looking forward to do some collaborations in America too as well. Maybe TeaRon, you might tend to be a musician and you shoot a video, then I'll be part of it.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Do I get to try?
Yeah,
do I get to come to you, or you come to me?
Either ways, what I just need to be in the video of TeaRon's music video. That is much more what I just need.
I do want
that is what I'm doing.
I do want to be able to kind of go in and like film more videos for people and stuff. I haven't done as many as I wanted to. I've directed music videos and stuff, but I haven't shot anything live in a while.
Is it that you don't really like to be in front of the camera?
No. I mean, I definitely am. I'm willing to be in front, but I mean, like behind the camera, like directing, like live shoots and stuff. I haven't done too many as of late. So maybe one day, maybe
we just push it on to coronavirus.
Yeah. I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of that shit.
Yeah.
What? Let's get that out of the way real quick. What is the status of COVID-19 over in Ghana, as far as you know? Because over here, they started trying to do the first bit of vaccines to a lot of people. So I think last time I checked, they said like 20% of the population has gotten vaccinated, but with the vaccination, there's like no guarantee of stuff because it's still new. They don't have enough data for it yet. It's a whole controversial thing. What's the status of everything over there? Have they started rolling anything out? Do you know?
Yeah, we started with our first vaccination and we are still waiting for the second jab. I think our president is doing so much well, concentrating on that very aspect, very good. And we appreciate him for that. But the main thing we see around here is like people in Ghana, for say, have taken coronavirus to be a very normal thing now. After the very hate that we had, and when people really didn't understand what the pandemic was really about, now it looks like everything has gone back to a little bit of normalcy, to be frank with you, because you can still see market women, traders, students not really wearing the nose mask. And if you should see a nose mask on someone's face, the person is not wearing it properly. The person is just making sure that, okay, yeah, just,
I
and they'll
swear
give you
these
some
motherfuckers be out here with their mask on their upper lip or they mask across their forehead. Like even if I get vaccinated or whatever, I think a mask in a group of like a large people or in like a closed setting, like if I take a flight somewhere, I'm probably just gonna wear one naturally now. Because
but here they don't even take it into consideration. Even if the person have taken the first vaccination or jab, the person still goes out without a nose mask. Because as I was coming to do this podcast with you, I took my time to survey my environment. I like roaming a lot. So as I was moving over, they're having a funeral here. And I could tell that only 3 persons that I could see among these people were only wearing nose masks. And 2 out of these 3 were not even wearing it properly. So I just asked myself, what the heck is going on in Ghana? Like you could see different stories and scenarios coming from other countries, and people are dying. And Ghana, I believe our God is in control and God is protecting us so well. But we are very stubborn human beings here. I tell you.
I just try to do at least just do my part. Like you said, there's only a handful of people that were doing it, but it's like I just try to do my part because number one, I don't want to find out. I don't want to test the waters. I'm not. No, no, I'm good on that. Like,
Yeah.
No.
And we also blame it on our literacy rate here. Those we can really see them adhering to the COVID-19 protocols are the elite and the most educated people in our vicinity. As I'm in Accra, that's what I can say. But I don't know about other countries or other regions here in Africa. But I could see that it's only those who are highly educated that are taking this thing much more serious. And to be frank with you, those numbers that we really recorded and the death poll, we could see that it's the rich people who were dying. And this was what was generating a lot of conversations in my areas per se, because you couldn't see the local people, the very low income earners suffering from coronavirus. Like they are so free-headed minded that anything they are doing, okay, let me just go ahead and do what I'm doing. I don't care what coronavirus is. But those who are really paying attention to it and trying to save their lives are those that are losing it.
Yeah.
So it's a whole kind of conundrum and misunderstanding going on here and there. And someone just saying that it is a virus to kill the rich, not the poor.
Lord.
Oh God, this pandemic has done a lot of harm.
I've noticed that if you, for lack of a better word, if you are ignorant to the understanding of it, you honestly live life way better. Like they say ignorance is bliss. So the less you know of something, the less there's a consequence of it. It's only when you are aware of something you end up having to be held a lot more accountable. And I think was the very thing that allowed me to not even enjoy 2020, because a lot of people were out there still just doing whatever the fuck they wanted to. They were still living their life to the fullest. And I was just like, I'm way too informed. Like I have too much information and too much understanding that it's causing me to take precautions or, but people who didn't care or didn't, like you said, were unfortunately less educated about the situation. They just kept doing whatever the fuck. They didn't care.
Yeah, they don't mind anybody. They don't mind anybody. They even politicized it. So they were like, oh, you guys are trying to maintain us or tame us, trying to not let us go about our normal business. You're just lying to us. Coronavirus is not real. It's not. Until we started getting some cases, which were very alarming, before you could see that the citizens were now putting on their nose masks, using sanitizer. We took advantage. If I say we, I mean all Ghanaians who really took advantage of the coronavirus, because sanitizers that were not costive in the market really shoot high. A sanitizer that was 5 cedis for about 25 cedis, 30 cedis, and is way higher, more than $1. Like you can buy it like $50, and it was just mind blowing, and people really, really was very creative about everything that was happening, because I could really say that I ventured into nose mask selling because I thought at that point people were really in need of it, and I was also trying to get into the market to get some money on myself. So we kind of designed some African nose masks, then we started sharing, and as we did, we got some money back. So as for you that you didn't really enjoy 2020, some of us really did.
Yeah, I thought about it like in the early stages. I was like, damn, I wish I could just like sell some masks and stuff, but that wasn't my talent. I wasn't blessed with such a gift.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you hosting just different shows and things like that. How did you get into the hosting gig, and what is it you're working on here as of late, or better yet, what is it you hope to do as a host, or as what some people over there call a presenter? I notice a difference I've noticed that difference. So I'll say both. What do you hope to accomplish in such a role? And like, what have you been working on here as of late with that?
So when I got into my university, they had this platform of bringing up a new television station for the whole college. So when I got inside, I'm kind of somebody who really loves to be in front of camera. I don't know, but it's like a sickness to me or something. I'm very, very, very addictive to when it comes to camera works and all that. So each and every time I just take my phone and record myself and post it and get feedbacks from my friends and family. And they keep on encouraging me that you're doing wonderful. Why don't you venture into television production? So when I came and I saw the TV station, they were very, very, very young. I think it was 2 months old or something. Very, very, very young. And I also added my voice, my capabilities and abilities to help grow the station. So as they were growing, then I had my show coming up, that is Music World Show 1. And so what we basically do is that we talk about music in the country, trending songs that are very controversial, all that. We talk about them extensively, do breakdowns of the music videos. So we have to call people in to know their advice videos. And so that is what I'm currently doing. I am the TV host or presenter, and put it that way. And I really enjoy doing my work. But what I really want to accomplish in my model as now is that I get to reach a lot of people, really become an advocate for, a lot of issues that are going on, especially in the entertainment industry, because that is where my power really lies and my abilities are really, really stronger there. So I for one, would love to be a sensation, if not like Oprah Winfrey or who should I even mention? I think I'll get a name whilst we're going on. And, I really want to become someone very, very big and very popular who can really make changes with just their voice and their appearance. So that's basically what I want to accomplish.
I hate you. No, I'm just kidding. Those are definitely good goals. That's one thing I've noticed too in like taking a step to try and create a platform. It's a hard thing to do. It's very much a collaborative effort, and you do need a team. You do need people behind you to really kind of carry the whole thing through. But I think you definitely have the ability to do so based on what I've seen already.
Hey,
is there
you're trying to make me swollen headed?
Whatever. Is there a because you mentioned like Oprah and stuff. Is there a Ghanaian Oprah? Has someone filled that spot?
A Ghanaian Oprah?
Like not necessarily meaning like a woman or a guy or whatever, but is there someone who kind of is over there doing the thing in terms of being a talk show host or being visible in that way? Because I don't know, I've never actually seen Ghanaian television before.
Yeah, basically because of where you are, you don't have access, or you don't like trying to get involved in what is happening here. But definitely we have a lot of people who are really doing that. I can mention but a few. Delay, we have a woman on YouTube. She does it on TV and uploads it on YouTube. We have Delay, we have Nanaba Namora, we have Bellamundi, we have Johnny Hughes, we have Kwame Sefakain. He's a germ in the business. We have, who else? Who should I mention? So that I don't get problem. All the names I'm mentioning here will not kind of create the conflict among people here, because I know how strong some fan base are in Ghana. I can talk of Abeku Santana. I can talk of Zion Felix. In fact, a lot of people who are really, really, really doing well. Jessica and Cole. And I look up to these people because each and every day they bring something exciting, something new, and they probably have been having the opportunities to travel outside and come back. And, each and every time they return, they bring something new, some new pronunciations and, lifestyle. I really learned a lot from these people. So definitely we have Oprah Winfrey type of people here in Ghana. So much.
You want to know who the main person I know is that is? Before I get into it, I want to say this. One of my biggest issues with how things are, and this is globally speaking, in terms of
Okay.
media and entertainment, I've found that when I talk to people everywhere, no matter where they are, they know of and kind of grew up with the same personalities or the same celebrities, some of the same programming as far as shows and things like that I did, right? Because for some reason the net is cast one way where these films or these shows and stuff get seen in other countries, but it never happens the reverse, at least here in America. We never actually get content generated to us. I mean, you get more of it nowadays with streaming and stuff being online and stuff like that. But even still, in comparison, we never actually get content from other countries being delivered to us in such a way. But so yeah, we never actually we never actually get introduced to anyone without really having to go and search for it. I know a lot of the African films or shows and from different countries that I've gone in and watched and checked out is because I've gone to look for them. You know what I mean? I just think it's interesting that the same people I looked up to, meaning like celebrity figures or personalities growing up, would be the same people that only in addition to that, even other, way more people because you have local talents and you have, things that you can find out there. And it's weird to me that not only that is an occurrence, but it seems to equate with the fact that most Americans aren't like bilingual, right? Most everybody just speaks English or their version of English,
Okay.
and then that's it. Whereas if you go elsewhere, of course, English is everywhere, like Spanish is everywhere. Well, people speak whatever the main language is, and then they have like their own like. and so it's like, it's something that a lot of people, I don't think they are even aware of because they don't get access to the content. But I say all that to say this: one of the main people I got introduced to that was Ghanaian has only been a few years ago, and it's through music. I always find out people exist, or I find out about more stuff through music. And I remember I was kind of you go on YouTube and you just kind of like are watching stuff, and you watch something else, and you watch something else. You just kind of keep going.
Yeah.
And so eventually, I came across Becca.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I was like, who the fuck is this? Right. So I think when I first came across her, I think what song was it originally? Hold on. It's a song she did with Sarkodie. Is that how you say his name?
Sarkodie. What the F did you say?
Is that how you say his name? You know what I'm talking about?
You made me burst into laughter. Damn.
Why are you hating on me? Let me live, okay? I'm the best I can. Dude, how do you say this? How you say his name then? Shit.
Sarkodie.
Yeah, I would never have said that. Sarkodie.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a song she did with him, and I saw a video for it, and I was like, oh my gosh, who is this? Because her voice was so interesting to me. It was just a really rich and strong voice, and so I started like finding more about her, and through that, I was able to be introduced to a lot of other artists musically, but also it's just interesting, how you can kind of fall into a wormhole and like find out about stuff. But yeah, that's like the main person I know of, which is not saying much. Saying much, but it's kind of what I've found so far. Who is somebody outside of yourself that you think people should know? Whether it's a musician or a television host, whatever, a politician, who's somebody you think people should know?
If I should get a lot of names, I might say only my favorites, then leave others who are equally good
No.
out there.
Just say one, so that way it's in no specific order.
Okay. So one, I would like the whole world to listen and hear about Kidi.
Spell it.
And Kidi. He's almost everywhere because he got signed on to Empire. And so I think he's getting the attention outside internationally. Let me put it that way. He's an Afro pop singer and high life singer too as well. And he's really, really versatile and very, very, very good. I think on Wednesday, he's going to be dropping a new song, Touch It. And he brought out this sensation song, Say Cheese. Sort of like, say cheese, take a picture. You know, it was a kind of a household name all over. I think globally, it made a good lot of million views and hits, plays, and all those stuff. So Apple even featured them. So I think Kidi, if anybody should want to know more about Ghanaian music or trying to not get lost in a wormhole as you did, they should try looking for Kidi, Kidi, and he's on Instagram at Kidi Music. And so I think when you know Kidi, you might know a lot of Ghanaians too as well.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it my homework.
Yeah, you should.
Here's what I want to do. I want to kind of give you the floor to paint a picture for us. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to give you, because, well, some people may not know this. You came up with a really cool concept. I won't spoil it. I won't say too much, but I will talk to you about this once we're done. You came up with a really cool concept for introducing your own version of a podcast to people. And and you just started talkative, right? So
yeah,
and we had a conversation, you and I, about how I didn't feel like I could. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could, honestly, if I really tried, but how I didn't feel like I would be able to hold a podcast on my own, just like talking by myself.
Yeah,
it just takes a certain kind of energy to really carry out, like, you know, talking alone for like 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour on your own. But I think you have the ability to do so.
You're telling me.
But I want to give you the floor for a bit, just to kind of paint a picture. If you can, share with us a story about you growing up, perhaps maybe a interesting story about, you know, someone you met, or a funny story, just anything in general. But I want you to just be as descriptive as possible so that we kind of can imagine what it was like in that moment, being a young boy in Ghana, having an experience. I know that's kind of broad because I left you with so many options there.
Oh no, trust
me,
I just want to see where it
goes. I just want to see where it goes, and be as descriptive as you can. So, like, you know,
I'll try my best.
Be very storytelling about it. And I just want to escape this for a second, because this will give me a second for me to be quiet.
So I'll just name you Talkative number 2.
Yeah. Go, just tell us a story about, you know, just a moment in your life in Ghana.
All right. Okay, so hi guys, welcome to Talkative, a mini show on Radio Ubiquitous. And you know what to do?
Take over my show.
I'm just pretending that is my show, because literally it's not anywhere, so nobody can find me. All right. So people, my name is Oheneba Nurudeen. And yeah. Oh, TeaRon, give me room to talk.
I have to process. I have to process what you just did. Y'all, this dude just literally hijacked my show.
How did you do that? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'll just go straight to the story.
I like it. But let's roll with it. I just wasn't ready. Wasn't ready. Let's roll with it. So this is a show within a show itself. Go ahead.
Yeah. A show that is not popular and no one knows unless my WhatsApp status viewers. So probably this is an exclusive one for you.
Oh goodness. Hold on. I'm gonna be quiet. I want you to just take over and do your thing for a moment.
All right. So hi guys, welcome to Talkative with me, Oheneba Nurudeen. And on this very podcast, this is what we're going to talk about. My very first experience in an aeroplane. You know, Ghana is one of the developing countries in Africa that we don't see a lot of these kind of fascinating equipment and airplanes and, you know, drones and all those stuff. But I had the opportunity when I was growing up to actually sit in an aeroplane. And that was very, very fantastic moment for me at the beginning because I can't remember my mom waking us up around 5 a.m. GMT, and we had to go and rush to the airport and go and sit down there. By the way, my dad is a military person, so we can get some free passing to the airport without any hindrance. So we got there. My mom bought me some ice cream and donuts. So I really ate that food because Charlie, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity to, you know, taste the kind of goodness as a young boy. So we did our boarding pass, everything was checked, and we had to go and sit in the aeroplane. And trust me, the moment I entered, my legs started shaking. Like a very newborn baby who is like on a real roller coaster for the very first. I was so shaking. And I think the air hostess just told me, "Hey, little boy, you will be all right. So please sit down quietly, okay?" Then I nodded my head. Then I sat down. They gave us the seat belt, wrap it all around us. Trust me, I was finding like a lot of ways to get out from my seat because I want to see the pilots, I want to see the clouds, I want to see how the things are going in the airplane because I had no idea about it. So my mom took me on her lap and, you know, wrap us all with the seatbelt so that I could see the skies. Immediately, the plane started flying. Come and see, we were all like tilted to one end of the aeroplane. Everybody was like, ah, ah, screaming here and there, trying to, you know, get to understand what is happening because we thought we're just going to have a smooth ride. It was like, whoa, then we are all gone. But trust me, this is exclusive to this very podcast. I nearly peed on myself. I nearly peed on myself because I was so scared. I'm someone who is not scared of heights, but at that particular moment in the sky, I could see the clouds. I could see, you know, beautiful things in up there. I was so happy, but very scary at the same time. So I had to pee in my dress. So I had to wet the dress of my mom too as well. So when we got down, everybody was like looking at us, nigga, why did you pee on yourself? Are you okay? But I think at that time I was around 4 years, 5 years, so probably they could pardon me. So they did, and we had our successful journey, and it was so fantastic. So guys, don't tell anybody I peed on myself before because I've not told any story like this to anybody. But trust me, my life has been a wonderful moment, and I like every single day of it because I got to know and new things and explore a new life, and I'm so happy. So this is the end of my podcast called Talkative with me, Oheneba Nurudeen. See you same time, maybe never. Bye-bye. TeaRon, you on.
I'm here. First of all, I want to say this before I comment on the story.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, because
Mm-hmm.
I had an episode where I spoke to a friend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended up talking about piss more than once in the episode. And I was like, how do we keep getting on this conversation? And here you are talking about piss again. Nigga, they gonna be like, what the fuck is going on over there?
I know.
This is not that kind of show, y'all. I promise. But it just so
Yeah.
happens that it came up. But I would say in both instances of speaking about um, urination
Yeah.
and it happening,
Mm-hmm.
it was from both small children, so it can be excused. It wasn't like we're adults doing these kinds of things.
Yeah. It still haunts me looking at where I am now and thinking about me person. Like, what the F did you do?
It happens. It happens. This is one thing I thought is interesting. You say aeroplane, like with the O in there.
Yeah.
And I just say airplane.
Airplane. Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought that was fun.
Back in the days when we were growing up, our teachers really spoiled us. They were also trying. I don't blame them too much because they're also trying to learn the new words, and they really. I think the spelling was Aeroplaen. I think so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're forced to pronounce it aeroplane so that the spelling will be much more easier for us, because we're trying not to do too much of intonations or phonetics. We're just pronouncing it as we can spell it. So that's how come I use the word aeroplane. But airplane is cool, but I love my aeroplane. I'm not ashamed of it.
What's your native language? I know you speak more than one.
Yeah, I speak Chi and Fanti.
Say something.
Can you say? I knew that was going to be the next thing to say. I say something.
That's so vague, isn't it?
Well, anything perhaps by say you wouldn't understand it. But
I know.
Let
me hold on. Wait. Okay, teach me a word. I'll let you teach me something. Go ahead.
Say Aquaba.
Aquaba?
Aquaba.
Hold on. You got to spell this shit out now. What?
So, okay, let me spell it for you. AKWAA.
Why is there so many A's?
I don't know. I'm not the one who created the word.
So it's Aquaba.
Yeah, Aquaba, meaning welcome.
I heard that in a song somewhere.
Yeah, it's in the song. This Afro pop. Aquaba, yo sister, I want to be a doctor, a writer. I'm not good at songs though. But yeah.
It wasn't that song, but
which songs have you been listening to?
I have no idea.
I think Ace Hood did a song with Sarkodie, and he said Aquaba. I said Sark. He rather said Medase, which is thank you. So you can also try that.
Medase?
Yes, good. At least you're down. You're doing well.
I want to listen. I want to learn like at least like 7 languages out this bitch. Like I'm determined to like be as multilingual as possible.
That's nice.
It's hard because here's one like I said, this platform has just opened up a lot of doors for me to speak to a lot of different people that I wouldn't have before. And one time I had to pass up an opportunity to speak to someone because even though they spoke a bit of English, it wasn't their first language. So it would have been really hard for us to carry a conversation without like someone translating it in a way. So I think their first language is like French or something. Yeah. Right. And I'm like, a lot of people don't know, a lot of African Americans anyway, we don't know that there are a lot of motherfuckers out there that speak. There are a lot of people who are just speaking French or who don't speak English as their first language, and we can't even talk to each other like we want to. So I'm trying to do the best I can to learn stuff, because there's people out here who speak like 3 and 4 languages naturally, and so I'm trying to do better.
Yeah.
So maybe if nothing else, I employ you as a. Okay, can we do a lesson this week?
Can you pay me as a translator?
Oh my goodness!
I can help you if you really are determined to learn my indigenous. I'll help you.
I'll take you up on that. I was saying, when is your birthday?
Ooh, I hope everybody will gift me because I love gifts. My birthday is on 30th June, so I'm looking forward to it.
Really? Your birthday's close to mine-ish. Kind of.
Ooh, what date is yours?
My birthday is oh, and this is another thing I just noticed. You said the number before the day or before the month. It's just these little things I kind of noticed that we do because when you are writing out the date there. Let's say you have to write out the date for today. How would you write out the date in numbers?
I'll do it this way. 30, that is 30 with hyphen 06 hyphen 1999. That's how we probably write it.
We do the day. I'm sorry. We do the month, the day, and then the year.
Oh, we do the day, the month, and the year.
And honestly, that's what it should be anyway. That just makes sense to me. But whatever. But that's what I noticed that when you said when your birthday was, you said the number before it. So to answer your question, my birthday is 17 of July.
Ooh, so probably 13 days to mine. 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. 13 days
that's
and
wonderful.
some years. 13 days and quite a few years.
A whole lot of years.
Don't say a whole lot. Don't say it like that.
Oh, you old. Accept it.
I am elderly as fuck, y'all.
Yeah. We could all testify to it.
Really?
You didn't know about this?
You know.
I'm just kidding.
I've never been a model before, but I have taken some pretty dope ass photos in my time. How tall are you? Do you know how tall you are?
Yeah, I'm 5'11".
You're 5'11"?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Okay, so before I joined my agency, Obsession Models, they took all our vital points, and by our measurements, that's what they told me, is 5'11". But I know it's 5'11". But I was deceiving myself that I was 6 feet. But when I used the measurements, I think I was 5'11". So I'm 5'11". That's how I know.
I mean, you could be 6 feet. What you might as well fucking say 6 feet. Nobody's gonna argue that you're not 6 feet if you're 5'11".
We would know, Ghanaians. They would know if you're lying, because we would know if you're lying.
Oh, let me ask you. Let me ask you this.
People will know just by looking at your pictures. People can determine what your height is. So you don't need to lie.
Well, that's true. You do come off very short.
I'll mind you.
Have you noticed since, I want to say since, when did Black Panther come out? Was that like 2018, 2017?
I think 2019 there.
It was not 2019.
Really? Black Panther?
It was like 2017 or 2018.
Black Panther we're talking about here?
Yes. Don't try to look it up. Don't try to do that.
I'm doing that. I just need to get my facts right. I'm definitely doing that.
When was it?
Yeah, but it's quite shocking. I think so it's not loading. Data problems in Ghana is very, 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 very.
Don't
2018.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 2018. Don't you keep trying to look up stuff and mess it up this podcast.
But it's good to look smart,
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I only asked that because have you noticed since 2018 where there is a wider market for African models?
Yes, so much.
because I thought it was just me that kind of noticed that, but I do see it a lot more than I was getting before. Because for a long time there were only a handful of like dark skinned models, or people who are high. Let me rephrase that: highly melanated models.
Yeah,
And now
that is the word.
there's a whole lot of them. With you being one of them now.
Oh Jesus, TeaRon.
But it's true. It's true. I've noticed that maybe it's just because, like I said, maybe it's because I go looking for stuff, but I've noticed a lot more of a surgence in it. And that's a good thing because, like I said, it hasn't been that way for a long time. But I feel like I noticed it after the popularity of that era, that moment happened.
Mm. But don't you think that it's not okay? Probably we not give all the credits to Black Panther movies because
Of course,
there
I'm
has
not
been
gonna give it all, but I'm just saying, I want to be clear. I'm definitely not giving it all to that. What I'm saying is that that moment in time, a lot more people than ever before who normally wouldn't be aware or open to other cultures and concepts, they were there was like a flood of it then, because people were like, oh, they were finally seeing stuff that they could relate to, but also it was tied in with stuff that they had never seen before that they wanted to find out more about. So the only reason I use that timestamp is because I felt like it got so popular that a lot of agencies and a lot of media kind of start taking attention of people that they were ignoring before, to the point that sometimes I feel like in certain aspects, especially over here anyway, I feel like in certain aspects, a lot of times opportunities are given out to people that wouldn't used to get them, but in a very pandering kind of manner. Do you know you know what I mean? Where they are kind of doing it because it's the popular thing or it's the in thing to do versus just giving someone an opportunity because of. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely it's making sense because I think that, if you really want the definition of models, you can get them in Africa because we have all the kind of notched, all the kind of face, the bones striking and everything. Our creation or our race of human are poised for this modeling thing because
Yes.
as I'm saying, we have the melanin color, the very dark skin color, and it's very beautiful. And this really raised the concern about when people started bleaching and trying to look more like the foreigners, the Americans, looking all white and all that. But you could really see that notion has stopped. And bleaching creams have been banned in a lot of African countries because we really want to maintain our color. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. and
Good.
now to
Listen,
it has,
if y'all don't, nigga, if y'all don't listen, if y'all after bleaching, stop that shit red now. What the
like
fuck is a
I don't
that's
get why people bleed.
I'm gonna say this. And somebody might get offended when I say I really don't give a shit, honestly. But you look stupid.
Yeah, like especially when the cream gets
That's just my
finished.
opinion. And I'm not, speaking on your behalf, but I'm just saying you look stupid. That's not how you even supposed. Can you imagine? You out here with the strongest African features that you can imagine. Full lips, wide nose, just cheekbones. You got all these features, and then you lightening it up. It doesn't even match. It doesn't even go.
Yeah,
We can tell.
and it was a real hell because people and I like the fact that people have been able to be conscientized about all these because it was something that was really taking over in African countries. You could see a normal black woman that all of a sudden, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the person is looking all fair and patched up. And one funny thing about it is that their skin becomes so uh so very scary, like so scary that you can see patches all over their knuckles, their
Right.
legs, their like
because you can't even lighten up certain areas.
exactly.
Let me tell you, let me figure this. Imagine you are imagine you are bleaching, right?
Uh-huh.
Now you know that your balls and shit is
Mm-hmm.
sensitive. So you think
Yeah.
I don't think you can just put bleach on your balls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it's recommended. I hope nobody's out there trying to bleach their balls. So, but if you can't put bleach on your balls and you start bleaching,
Hmm.
if you're gonna look real stupid running around here, light skinned and fluorescent in color, and then you got them dark ass balls. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? You're not
And even in some places, like your
why.
armpits as well. You can bleach your armpits. And
You're
so when you
right.
go to
Like,
the
why would you
beach,
do that?
I don't
You
know,
look stupid. You cannot bleach, you know, your neck and your chest and your belly button, and then you go down and it's like your coochie lips are black as fuck.
Oh Jesus.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just something I think about. I'm just like, there's no way. It's just a hell of a contrast, is all.
Yeah, yeah. A hell of a
Mm-mm.
contrast there.
Mm-mm. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the health concerns. It's not worth the skin that you're in, literally.
Look,
And you,
just look at how Naomi Campbell is so nice in her melanin skin, a deterrent, and a lot of black women in Oprah is still maintaining her color. Beyonce is still maintaining her black color, her melanin color. And all these people are people that you say they are my role models, they are role models, and yet you just don't want to be having that kind of natural feel of your own color. I don't know why people would just deny themselves of their natural color. It's so absurd, like so annoying and
yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
Mm.
It's just not necessary at all. It's
It's
just not
not.
necessary. It's not healthy, and it's not good. And honestly, I blame media. I blame just societal norms or things that people think that they should try and look like and what they should try and achieve. And it's like it's just not worth it. We are the shit as we are. You know what I mean? And I enjoy being black. I don't want to be nothing else. It's a struggle. They do make it hard for us out here. But I wouldn't want to be shit else. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to be shit else. Keep me
No,
black.
definitely being black is unique because your color is very rare, and when people see you, you get that like their attention is all over you, and I really like attention. I really love enjoying attention. So if I have this my melanin color and I walk into any bougie supermarket and everybody's looking at me, trust me, I'm gonna take my time to walk and pick up my shopping items and go away because it makes me feel so proud of myself. It makes me feel original, like so original. And I I I I don't know how people feel, but to me, wow, it makes me look superior. I don't know about others, but I really enjoy being black.
Yeah. Yeah. And you the real black. You the real kind of black.
Oh yeah. I, people should. There was this time we were doing throwback time on Instagram, me and my colleagues, and I put out a picture of myself, and I was really black, like the color black. I was really, really black, and people were laughing at me. I was like, "Hey, you guys,
Really? Now
shut
cut
your
it out.
troughs!" Like, what do you want me to do? It's my color. God bless me with this. I don't care about them saying maybe it's the sun rays and working on the sun and the sun is too scorchy and it's giving you. I don't give a fuck about that one. What I give a fuck about is my color is unique and I love it. And I was so proud of myself. That was the talk of the day because everybody was talking about me and I was so happy.
Right. Like you're gonna deal with this. You're gonna accept it for what it is.
Exactly.
And you're gonna love it.
Yeah. If you don't like me for my blackness, please you can block me. I don't care. I'll still be in my element. After all, you know God. And God is not going to judge somebody to go to heaven because of black color or white color. It's quite funny how they painted this whole religious stories and made Satan black and made Jesus white. This is something that we're still battling with, but I feel it's not necessary anymore because our local homes, in our homes, you'll see a portrait of a Jesus figure who is all white, and you go and see
Don't you
people
say
kneeling
you're
down.
not gonna do that to me. You are not about
Oh,
to do that. You're not gonna sit here and tell me that you grew up seeing white Jesus in people's houses too?
My house had one.
Oh,
Trust me.
oh,
Like
that makes me
my
want to throw up.
like my and churches had it. Like all the churches that was attending to had it. So I was at a point of time confused that is this how Jesus really looked like on the cross? In fact, in our movies, that's what we see. Our Jesus story books and all that they were teaching us was some white dude posing to be Jesus, and we all had to accept him. And they will paint Satan so black a color that will make you feel so inferior to yourself. I've seen a lot of people worshiping and bowing before a white dude posed as Jesus on the wall, and they'll be praying to the Jesus. I was like, I grew up in this shit. But I like the new generation that we are in. We don't really pay attention to those imageries anymore. It's kind of be in your element in your heart. Jesus is in your heart.
Right.
The moment you accept him, just don't have a picture figure about him. Just have him in you and be a Christ-like person. Be good enough. And that is all it takes you. And I don't really get it when people, are kneeling before these white pictures and it's so annoying.
Have you? Let me ask you, because I want to describe this motherfucking feeling I just got. Have you ever gotten into a fight before?
Oh yeah, I got it one, but I lost. I lost the fight. They whipped my ass.
You. First of all, that's you. I ain't never lost a fight I've been in. Period. And I want y'all to know that. So if you try me, I'm banging. I promise you. But anyway, the only reason I asked you that is because there's a feeling. There's a physical feeling that kind of takes over your body when you get to be in that point. It's like adrenaline. It's like when you get to be that pissed off and that angry. There's an actual feeling that kind of takes over you. And in those moments, I don't know how to describe it, but it's almost like a chill. But it just kind of starts from your head, it flows all the way down. And it takes over your body. It's like when you're about to be just completely enraged. I had that feeling one other time. Well, I had it feeling a lot of times, but I had that feeling one other time, and I just had that feeling now where when you said that you growing up in Ghana, as a young African boy, that you grew up in a household with those same images, it completely pissed me off. Just and it's just because it's like, damn, you motherfuckers are everywhere.
And like, that picture is very popular.
It is. It's probably in everybody's fucking house at one point. It just enrages me so much because those are the things that contribute to people doing things like bleaching and thinking they have to do stuff. Like, for example, I am so sick of all these black women with these lace front wigs and shit. Like like a lot of women, of course, they're starting to get to a point, a lot of guys too, but they're starting to get to a point where they're no longer perming their hair, or they're trying to wear their hair natural and not do that. But even still, they throw a wig on top of their natural hair. Just, and it's still like to give you a more European feel, but it's like I sit back sometimes, especially even when I'm watching like these African films and stuff, or these Nollywood movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? We know that's not your texture. We know that's not your, but it's hard to find anyone who is gonna rock their natural look and everything. And it sucks. And it's shit like that. It's shit growing up with images like that subconsciously gets you to a point where you're doing shit that you shouldn't do, or you have ideas about yourself that aren't true.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, when you said that, I had to take a deep breath because I almost knocked this computer off the desk.
I'm at some point, I don't really blame them. These young Black Americans or Black Africans that are not really into their elements or believing in their own self. Because at a point, all we see in our movies, in our music video is trying to clone Americans into Africans, cloning themselves into this kind of, if you're not fair, you not get gigs in Africa. And literally that's what started happening. But I think by God's grace, it has gone down. If you're not fair in the industry, you not get to go to some places. That was the notion. So I think at that point, that was what made young people started bleaching and all that, then losing their virtue and their value in life. Because if you're not fair, you're not allowed into some certain places. You can't assume some status in the community. Just like people who are here, if you're not using an iPhone, you are not a rich person.
Now that's the dumbest shit.
I'm telling you, that is what's really happening. If you're not using an iPhone, you are not considered as a rich person.
I'm gonna say this. I know a lot of broke motherfuckers
who uses iPhone. And
not only are they broke, their iPhones are broke. Their screens are always cracked.
Refurbished. And the most painful part of it all is that they'll use their hard-earned salary to just go buy an iPhone just to stay relevant. Like, who does that? If you can afford it, fine. It's not like we're not saying that nobody should use an iPhone. If you can afford it, fine. But you don't sacrifice your stomach. Oh God!
I am screaming because you said refurbished.
Oh yeah, refurbished. Nice.
That's how y'all are. You niggas do be out here with refurbished products, talking shit like you doing something. Fuck out of here. I don't use an iPhone. I'll tell you that now. I use a Galaxy, so I
use an iPhone though.
I mean, I know you do, but I'm not coming for you.
Oh, you cannot come for me because I can afford it myself. So I don't have to, buy it to make people call me rich or something. I love using an iPhone because of its convenience, and that's how I love it.
That's really what an iPhone is for most people, and they don't realize that it's just convenience because iPhone only puts out one model of phone in different sizes. You know what I mean? Yeah. I personally, as a creative, as someone who likes to do graphic design, likes to go in and, do things that are a bit more. I like the freedom that an Android device gives you. So that's why I prefer to use Galaxy devices for my own personal needs. But let me tell you, nobody's phone should be a status symbol at all. You know what I mean? Because anybody can get a phone anywhere. Motherfuckers can steal your phone and act like they got a phone.
Exactly.
But nobody's phone should be a status symbol. I promise you.
There are a whole lot of things going on in Africa that people are really not paying attention to. Trust me, a whole lot. Can you imagine that people cannot really? Let's say if you're going for one funny thing is that if you are well known in a society, you don't get the chance to do you anymore. You do what pleases the society. So let's say in Ghana, we have something we call trotro. That is a public transport. How do you guys will have it like a bus? We call it trotro troski. If you are someone who is well known in your community, trust me, if they see you in trotro or the bus, you'll be discouraged the rest of your life. You'll be talked about the rest of your life, and you'll feel how do we even put it, will make you so inferior, like so they're like a whole shame on its own. And now if you are well known, you must have your car. You're forced to buy your own car or go and rent a car, which you have to be paying a lot of money for it, or you have to be using Uber every fucking day of your life, even if you're going to just buy.
So do you be on the bus?
Oh, I get a lot of time going on my bus. I love my bus because you would meet a lot of people with like different humors in the bus, like the churcho. If I recommend churcho to
Let
any
me tell
Ghanaian who
you,
is listening.
back in the day when I was like in my early teens and stuff, when I started being able to go out and about and around the city. And when you're a teenager, you don't give a shit. You usually trying to go out and have a good time. So we would all go on the bus and stuff. That's when I would really start riding the bus by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you, I've seen the craziest shit on the bus. You see the craziest shit in public transportation, but it's the same. It's the same here. Like where I'm from, and it does depend on the city. I will say that you are in America, because if if you are in New York City, everybody uses public transportation, no matter who you are. So you could be sitting next to the wealthiest doctor or lawyer, and to your other side, you'll be sitting next to somebody who's just working a fast food job, whatever. So, everybody uses public transportation, but that's just because that's how that city is. It's just everybody's there and always hustling. So you don't have time to stop and think about who's riding what. There's no status there. However, with where I live, since I'm like in the Midwest and the South, I'm in a large city, granted, but it's a different kind of mentality. So if you do ride the bus, it is mostly people who are considered to be poor, or either young people or whatever. Those are the people who are riding the bus. Eventually, you're expected, without saying, you're expected to get a car. You know what I mean? Because it's like if you don't have your own car at a certain point or by a certain age, you're whack. It's how people behave. So it's the same here. Go ahead.
There are way more things that are really going on, and people it's really pains me when people don't really pay attention to these little things. How I would have been really, really happy if I should see my minister in the same bus together. Trust me, that very 1 hour 30 minutes drive, we will talk about a lot of things that are going on in the country, and perhaps you'll get to know what actually is wrong with the people and how to fix things. As I'm talking to you, Ghana, we're having this kind of trends on Twitter and all over the world per se, and we are using the hashtag fix Mother Ghana, fix the country now, and fix the country, all those things. And people are really pouring out their heart, and we really hope that the government would listen, because there are a lot of things that are going in the industry that people don't really, really, really pay attention to. They think, oh, this is just one of them. Let them talk about let them talk about it, and that is all. We'll just leave it. But right now, they are really mentioning names of people who are supposed to be responsible for all these things. And it will shock you, names that you thought they were really hardworking, but actually they were working in disguise. A whole lot of shit is really happening in Africa, and I wish one day we could all wake up and it is gone. Trust me.
Right. And I mean, I definitely see trends leading into that direction for sure. And that's the thing. That's what I want to talk to you about. So there is this idea, or I guess there's this trend of, well, they say there's a trend. I don't know. You just kind of hear what you go with. But I'm going to ask you if you know. But they say there's a trend of African American people who are moving to African countries, but specifically people who are trying to move to Ghana, purchase properties and things like that. Have you met anyone who has been African American, trying to move there, or have you known of people who are doing that outside of like celebrity figures, like where they recently were talking about Stevie Wonder saying he's going to move to Ghana? Of course, Stevie Wonder can afford to move to Ghana.
He can.
You know what I mean? But have you significantly like noticed that just in Accra?
I've engaged myself in some conversations on let's say Clubhouse, where we have a lot of Black Americans coming together and sharing ideas and all the stuff. And most people are running from American here coming down to Ghana. And I'm so happy they are choosing Ghana. I don't know why, but I'm really very happy they're choosing Ghana because Ghana is a very peaceful country for once, and we have a lot of tourist sites, beautiful women, and very good food. And so me hearing about all these things, it brings me a lot of happiness because I think it's about time they trace their roots back to their very original country and help boost these African countries together because we are sick and tired of patronizing things that are from outside so much. It's about time we stick to our very own, try to push our own up to the top so that we can also brag about it that this is our very own, this is what we own and all those stuff. So them migrating back to Ghana or any African country, trust me, is a very good move. They should hurry up. I need to see a lot of them. They should hurry up.
Do you think they'll give me a dual citizenship?
You can come if you register and they monitor your activities and you are good. You are no harm to the country. Trust me, you'll get a citizenshry and registration.
I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna come over there and buy a house, but you're gonna have to keep it up for me.
Oh, don't worry. I'll turn it to a house party.
No, I definitely do want to. I definitely do want to visit one day because I know a lot of people who have visited Ghana, and they definitely talk about how it's on the up and up. I do think it's important that we do start to, like you said, kind of migrate around to places that we normally wouldn't. Because when you think about it, there are a lot more wealthy Black people than we are aware of, especially nowadays. And I think that if there was an influx of just not even super wealthy people, but just moderately well off African Americans or British Blacks, whatever, who took their money to places and developed and helped to, create jobs and things in other African countries, that it would be super beneficial for us all. I don't know how we would get to that point, but I feel like that would be a huge thing because you have people who are from places like Ghana or places like Nigeria, whatever, and they go and they study abroad and they, get a job or whatever, and they eventually, move back home once they get older, stuff like that, or they invest money or send money back home to, build a home or whatever it is. But that's only a handful of people who are really doing that too. Yeah. So I think we have to really get to a point where we are comfortably visiting each other or comfortably investing in places where people look like us, where we look like each other, and that will change a huge tide for what we could be able to achieve. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it should all start with our mentality and how we think, because I've seen and heard a lot of people who are rich here in Ghana moving out to Singapore, Dubai, America, just to go and find settlement there. I mean, who the heck would do this? You get money in your country and leave and go and spend it outside? Like,
right.
It all start with our own mentality. We can all.
And it happens on a large scale and on a small scale. Like people in their own communities will go outside of their community to spend money, and then they complain about how the community isn't able to build anything. It's like because you keep taking your earnings to someone else's community so they can do well. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like we have to keep taking care of home as much as it's important to explore and visit other places. I think it's also important to make sure that you build up your communities and you take pride in where you come from. So that you don't kind of lose hold of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. It all starts with our conscience and how we think. Because surprisingly, if someone should stay in a community and become rich and famous, the person will have to relocate. And in situation in Ghana, if you're well endowed, you have specific places that are for wealthy people to stay. They have a place called like East Legon and Airport View,
that's American Down.
Yeah, that is where the celebrities. Yeah, that's where the stars will go and live, in some estate community, gated community, because they say, burglars will come there, they'll come and rob them, so they need to go and isolate themselves. I'm like, oh, Jesus. We got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we definitely do. But this is what we're doing now is a part of that work, us being able to communicate, which I'm incredibly grateful for you just taking the time to do it. But us being able to communicate is the first step, really.
Yeah.
How will we know if we don't ask somebody? A closed mouth don't get fed. You know what I mean? So you got to be like, hey, how do I do this? How do I get some of that? Feed me, nigga.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, speaking of food, one thing I want to touch on before we go.
My favorite part. I love food. I literally love. If you want to marry me, just buy me food. Give me food to eat. I'll marry you. That's what I tell my friends.
I want to ask you about something specific, and I don't want to get you in trouble with this. Okay?
No problem. Let's go.
I want to ask you about this jollof rice.
Ooh, damn! That is the most appropriate food you have to mention. If you had mentioned any other food before that, I might have penalized you.
Who makes the best jollof rice?
Oh, please, Ghana does. Oh my goodness! After this, I'm just gonna prepare jollof. Like after this conversation, I'm putting some rice on fire.
You heard it here, people.
The best jollof in the world is Ghana jollof. You can argue that with your phones, and you can argue that come to Ghana, and I will personally prepare some jollof for you to eat for free. Then just go back. Come and eat proper jollof in Ghana.
That's not what my Nigerian friends say otherwise.
Oh, they will compete, but they can never be asked. They will. Do you know the number of times they travel to come and learn our recipe? We can give them a whole book for them to go and learn how to cook the jollof and go and mess it up and come back again. Trust me. If you're not a Ghanaian, you don't know how to prepare good jollof.
Oh my gosh. I personally still never had it myself. So I feel like I could cook it. I can cook really well. I feel like I could do it. But
you can't.
Well, wait. Let me finish. I feel like I could do it in terms of cooking it to a point where it's like, okay, I get it, but I wouldn't know any better. Like I wouldn't know if I got it right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, because I have nothing to compare it to. So when I finally make it there one day, you'll have to take me and say, hey, here's some motherfucking jollof.
I will sit you through the kitchen process, and I'll even make you cook yourself by learning it how to put this, the ingredients in one after the other, so that by the end of it, you really feel good about yourself because you taste some greatness you've never tasted anywhere. I mean, anywhere. Don't mind Nigerians. They don't know how to cook jollof. Don't mind them.
Oh, goodness. So
hi, Nigeria.
I want to wrap up here because I don't want to start no shit now. I want to wrap up here. And what I always want to do is I always like to give you the floor to let people know kind of what you're up to, where they can find you online, and what to expect from you in the near future or in the distant future. Just kind of what goals you have set. Well, first, what goals do you have for the future? What are you working on, and where can the people find you?
All right. Thank you so much, TeaRon, for this wonderful opportunity to be on your podcast. And I really have enjoyed myself to the fullest, trust me. Sharing my opinion is one thing that I really want to embark on in my life so that people would really learn and stay true to themselves. And by so doing, I am into TV production and radio production where a lot of people can see me and hear me make some meaningful points and try as much as possible to make some changes in their lives as well and their thinking. And so my upcoming projects is just to focus more on the television production and radio and also be one of the greatest and sensational models in Africa and beyond. If if God permits us. And I'm taking my modeling career very serious, and my TV production, let me put it like media production, very, very serious to us. Because these two are what is really feeding me, and I'm happy that I'm getting some, bits of attention everywhere. And I really like that. Guys, you can find me on social media platforms, especially on Instagram, where I'm much more active. Facebook, I just drop a picture there and go away. But on Instagram at Oheneba_Nurudeen. And the Oheneba is spelled OHENEBA_NURUDEEN. And that is Oheneba Nurudeen. I think TeaRon will write it down somewhere, so you guys will definitely see it. But that is me. And I wish everybody here listening to me will come to Ghana and come and taste jollof. That is it. Share it.
Dork. All right, no, and I'll definitely include it in the show notes. And everybody, you already know who I am. I want to thank you for joining me on this journey to Accra, since I know how to say it now. Fuck y'all, I know what I'm saying. And and of course, you can find the podcast. You can find us all over social media. That's Ubiquitous Blacks, at Ubiquitous Blacks, wherever you can find us. Facebook, Instagram, you name it. And then also you can send us an email. You can send us questions, concerns, or just let us know that you care about us. Let me know that you love me and you appreciate what I'm doing here. It just makes me feel good. And of course, you can find us on your favorite podcast platform. If you go into your Spotify, you can follow us there all over. But specifically, if you are on Apple, you can go on to Apple Podcasts and you can leave us a rating and a review. Now, you know what I always say? If you're going to leave us a rating, you drop the 5 stars. If you don't plan on leaving 5 stars, if for any reason you feel like, actually, I'm going to not leave 5, don't leave shit. Just keep scrolling, find you something else to do, and maybe you'll feel better and you'll come back and you'll leave us 5 stars then. But I'm telling you, don't do that to me. Somebody left me a 4-star review and they didn't say why. They just left me 4 stars. I don't know. Maybe they accidentally pressed 4, but it messed my shit up and I don't like it. So I need a whole bunch of more 5-star reviews on the podcast to kind of get us up the charts more, get us more visible to a lot more people, whether here or in Accra. See, I'm going to keep saying it so that way I can get it in my memory, get it in there properly. But yeah, hit us up. Go on Google, type in Ubiquitous Blacks. If you don't spell it right, Google will say, "Did you mean?" And it'll get it right. And then you can find us, I promise, wherever you want to. All right, whether you are Black in Baltimore, Maryland,
or you're Black in Accra, Ghana,
remember this, people. We
are
Black
everywhere.
That works. That works for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.